I love when I start a show and my first comments are things that make me fucking laugh my balls off. It's always a great day when you fucking laugh. Because that's what you got to do. You got to fucking laugh. Because life is fucking retarded. And most people suck. And if you don't laugh... I'm watching the opening. And so we got First on the Map. And then was looking at your picture I have on my... chilling, but I know it was meant to be ceiling above my bed, and you kind of resemble the old Britney Spears picture I had back in high school, which makes me worried what you're actually doing when you're looking at that fucking picture. I have a pretty good idea in my head what it is, but yeah. Good day, mate. You guys fucking rule. But I am not Enrique, by the way. This is Rob. This is my show. So what's going on, everybody? Everybody looking forward to eating fattening shit tomorrow and dealing with fucking family members you don't really want to deal with? I hate the fucking holidays. I have... I'm a fucking curmudgeon, I guess you could say. I cannot wait for the holiday seasons to be over. Anything between fucking Halloween and I don't know what's the next. The only really good holidays are Memorial Day. So anything between Halloween and Memorial Day can go fuck itself. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. A Thanksgiving buffet near the beach. I could get down with that. For the longest time, my oldest daughter's mother and I, our tradition was we would go and have Chinese food at this Chinese food place that no longer exists, but it was probably some of the best Chinese food in all of Massachusetts. Now, I know that there are some assholes that will fight with me on that, but that's what I did, and I don't know. Just holidays are tough. I don't derive any joy from. I do it because I have kids. Obviously, you know, I love the joy on their face, and I guess that's joy enough. You know, the Christmas tree, the presents. What I really can't stand is motherfuckers. They got all their fucking Christmas shit up like the minute fucking Halloween's over, like November 1st, everything goes up. It's like, wait a minute, there's still one more holiday. Why don't you put your turkeys on your? That's what I remember. But every year. On the holidays, it's yet just another reminder that I'm not gonna do that. And you know, for some reason this year, it's kind of heavier for some reason. I think that the air is just really heavy on America right now. It feels like you're wading through a fucking really thick, dense fog. And there doesn't seem to be any path out. I don't want to say that I'm afraid to like open up the news, but man, it is like I've talked about forever. It is a never-ending cycle of shit to keep everybody fucking. They got this down pat after 9/11, with the whole fucking color coding system, our threat level yellow, and everybody was like, oh my God, the fucking Hajis are going to fucking bomb us. And they kept us in a constant state of fear. And when that started to die down, well, they had to do something else. Yeah. Had to do something else. And it's always something, you know. Obviously, Trump was a Nazi, so, you know, there's all the fear mongering there back in 15 and 16. And then people were like, we're not falling for this fucking stupid shit. And, you know, oh, he's a fucking racist. And a lot of the black community was like, no, this dude's not fucking racist. And there was a lot of the Latino community who were like, no, this dude's not fucking racist. Because a lot of the Latino community that came over here the right way don't want fucking illegal immigrants here to begin with. So what did they do? They unleashed the scamdemic to keep people in fear. And boy, did they, no, I haven't heard about the 2 National Guard ambushed in Washington, D.C. That might have a really bad fucking ripple effect. Well, I'll get to that. I mean, we got the whole show to do it. So yeah, they unleashed the scamdemic, and the government saw just how much the last 20 some odd years of the fear mongering and the programming by news and social media has gotten into people's heads. You know, I hope you guys go back, if you can, go back to when I was in Boston. It should be on my page. And I was talking, at the end of the day, I was talking to 2 18-year-old kids that were at Boston College, not from Mass, but they were talking to me about all kinds of things. I mean, they weren't even alive when 9/11 happened. And it was amazing to me talking to these kids how much they didn't know. They were like, oh, well, you're not vaccinated? I'm like, no, dude. And I never wore a mask. You never wore a mask? Not once? I was like, yeah. You know, one of the kids that was there was 16 and almost the same age as my son. And then I said, my son didn't wear one. I said, my son hasn't even been vaccinated since birth. So I've been on this fucking vaccine thing for a very long time, a lot longer than anybody was like, oh, I'm not taking an experimental drug. Listen, I was on that fucking 16 years ago. And they were just blown away by the things that I was talking to them about. I was like, dude, do you understand that everything that you guys did was just out of fear? There was no basis in medicine. And now look. I said, this was just a power grab by our government to keep us in fear. That's how they keep us in control, is fear. And tell me that's not true. Well, no, don't pay your taxes. If I tell you don't pay your fucking taxes, Rob, I'm going to go to jail if that happens, and they're going to take everything. That's fear. You fear the government. You fear the government coming in with their jackbooted thugs to take you out of your home and lock you up for not giving them money. No crime. No actual crime. You didn't kill anybody. You didn't rape anybody. You just didn't give Big Daddy government its cut of your hard-earned money. So you live in fear. So what do? When you live in fear? You pay your taxes. Now, if everybody stopped paying their taxes and said, arrest us all, the United States government couldn't do it. But we still do. Some of us, like, and the reason why I'm talking about this specifically is because I was watching the Dave Chappelle was talking about when Trump was debating Hillary Clinton. And he said, you know, he goes, I use the fucking system. He goes, because I'm smart. These are the tax laws that you guys put in effect. So why wouldn't I use that to not pay taxes or pay as little as humanly fucking possible? He said, I'm smart. And he goes, if you want more money out of guys like me, change the tax law. And he says to Hillary Clinton, but you and your friends won't do that because you guys will be affected from that. So don't give me shit about not fucking paying taxes. And that was that wasn't verbatim what he said, but that was Patriot Rob's interpretation of it, and it was pretty almost spot on. And but we walk around in fear. We're worried about, going to the range and making sure that, somebody at the range is not like, oh my God, you have a short-barreled rifle. Do you have your tax stamp for it? Are you a good, compliant little law-abiding citizen? No. Fuck you. Go fuck yourself. We live in fear. This is not what our government was set up to be. This is not what this country was set up to be. We were done living in fear of the crown. We literally told them, fuck you, we're going to kill you over pine trees and tea. That was the tipping point. The Pine Tree Riots in 1772 and the Boston Tea Party. We had enough. And look at all the shit that our government has done to us today. Look at what it's done to us over the last 40 fucking years. It has been nothing but a fear campaign. We live in fear. We don't pay our taxes because we're good law-abiding citizens. Nobody wants to give up fucking 33 or 40% of their fucking... You go out and you work 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a fucking week, missing time with your fucking family, killing your fucking body. Well, at least in my business, killing your fucking body for 30 some odd fucking years, framing houses, to give the government 33% or 40%, or by the time you're done with state taxes, if you live in a shithole like fucking Massachusetts, or a shithole like fucking Rhode Island, or a shithole like fucking Connecticut, especially Connecticut, or California, or even Tennessee. Oh, yeah, I'm coming after Tennessee in a minute. And you, Tennessean, you're going to want to hear this. So, and then forget about just your income tax. It's all the taxes on everything else. It's, all right, so now you got to pay sales tax. You buy a vehicle in Massachusetts, all right? My truck was, when I bought it, was $100,000. And I bought it here in New Hampshire, and I didn't pay a dime of sales tax. So there's no sales tax on it. But in Massachusetts, not only is there sales tax every year, and I know there are a lot of states like this, Tennessee being one of them, have something called an excise tax. I don't know if that's what they call it in Tennessee, but in Massachusetts, that's what they call it. Is an excise tax. And that tax happens every year based upon the state's valuation of your vehicle. Now, Massachusetts, it says the excise tax isn't based on Blue Book or the Native Book. It's what they feel your vehicle's worth. And this is every year. You're paying more tax on a vehicle or a product that you already paid tax on, but because you own it. They also expect you, if you go, like, let's say you live in Massachusetts and you go to fucking New Hampshire and you buy something tax-free. They want you to say, to declare it on your taxes so that they can take your sales tax. You specifically bought it in a non-sales tax state so that you can fucking not have to pay fucking sales tax because you're taxed to death already. Now, what do you do? I mean, this is, again, the site of the Boston Tea Party, what was it, a 2% tax? Is allowing their government to do whatever the fuck they want to do as far as taxing them. This is why I think it's been since 2017, over 600,000, all conservatives, have moved out of that state. 600,000 people have moved out of Massachusetts. The majority of their voting bloc, conservative voting bloc. I was just at a thing the other night. Actually, it was a couple of weeks ago. It's Republicans getting together and, also celebrating Kyle Wayne getting out of prison finally. And so I got to go down there and actually meet him face to face instead of talking to him on the phone. And there was a representative, a conservative representative there talking about it. And he goes, listen, man, there's only 25 of us and there's 135 of them. And they have tried to get the governor, they want to do an audit of the taxes, and the governor put a fucking stop to it. Like, they don't want, like, what the fuck are you allowing these people to do to you? And you just take it on the fucking chin. You know, my act of civil disobedience was leaving that place and not giving them another dime of my fucking money. Along with 600,000+ other fucking people said, you know what? Fuck you. This is what's going on in California. Unfortunately, some of them are even some liberals have fucking sense when it comes to their money, but and then they move to places like Texas and bring their fucking California politics with them. Luckily here, we're so like anti-gay and anti-liberal that liberals are kind of afraid to come here. They don't really want to come here. They literally settle on the Massachusetts border or they go to fucking Maine and Vermont and muck up their fucking states, not ours. But Tennessee just pulled some bullshit I would have never thought Tennessee would do. I think the YouTube channel is Whistling Diesel. I think that's what it is. So I guess this guy does, I think he's got like 14 million followers plus, 14 plus million followers. And he, I think it was a Ferrari F80, I think it was. So I guess he bought it. His company was out of Montana. And in Montana, there's no, sales tax on it. But he lives in Tennessee, and he had obviously property in Montana. I listened. I didn't even know who this guy was until I heard about this story that I'm telling you about now. So I haven't really watched any of his shows on YouTube, but this is concerning. So 20 armed cops, SWAT, went to his house and arrested him for tax evasion because he registered, and I guess the value of the tax on this Ferrari was $28,000. They sent a fucking SWAT unit, 20 armed guys, to arrest this fucking skinny little fucking twig of a dude on supposed tax evasion because he registered a vehicle in another state and they didn't get their money. This is Tennessee that did this. So what do you think he's going to do? Well, you know what? He's going to fucking fight it. I watched his video today. He's going to fucking fight it. He's going to stick it up their ass, and he's going to take all of the tax money that he was putting into the state, which was a lot because he's always paid his taxes, and there's proof of it. And he's going to take all of that money, and he's going to leave Tennessee, and probably, most likely, I would if I was him, go to Montana. This is how these blue states treat the tax-paying base. So Massachusetts would do the same thing. If I had a summer home in New Hampshire, it's actually considered, if I'm there like 4 months out of the year or whatever, I have, resident status. So if I was living in Massachusetts and I had an address in New Hampshire, I could register my cars in New Hampshire. In New Hampshire, you're not forced. There is no law that you need to have auto insurance. So you could drive without auto insurance. They don't force you to do anything. We don't even have fucking seatbelt laws here. If you're under 18, you have to wear a seatbelt. Anything over 18, you're an adult. You make the decision for yourself. We don't have helmet laws here. And people go, oh my God, you don't have fucking helmet laws there? How many people die from motorcycle accidents? It doesn't matter how many fucking people die from motorcycle accidents. And we don't have a nanny fucking government. They say, you know what? You're a grown ass fucking adult. You make the decision for yourself whether you want to be strapped to a 14,000 pound fucking rocket. That's how much my truck weighs. Or you're riding a motorcycle at 70 miles an hour and you just want to go fucking splat. That is on you. If you don't want to drive with insurance, that is on you. Nothing is forced. They allow the citizens to make whatever best decision for themselves. So when you don't see, here's the rub with it, with this is that when you don't have, mandatory auto insurance companies compete to get people to have auto insurance here. I have full coverage on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vehicles, full coverage, and I pay $228 a month for it all. Then again, I don't even have a fucking speeding ticket on my fucking license history ever, and no accidents, knock on wood. But from my camper to the fucking truck to the motorcycles to the fucking the 2 cars and the fucking plow truck, I got full coverage. And it's because that it's not mandatory. Now, obviously, the insurance companies fucking hate it, but they're forced to compete. So in a state like Massachusetts, where it's mandatory, they can set whatever fucking prices they want. It doesn't matter how good of a fucking driver you are. It doesn't care how how long you've been driving. And again, they rake you over the coals. We won't even get into the fucking comp and liability scam that goes on in fucking Massachusetts. The comp and liability here in New Hampshire is fucking holy shit. Contractors and construction workers like that owner operators thrive here. It's such a vastly different culture, and people are more relaxed in this state. When I was in Boston with Conservative Penn, she was just like, yeah, it is. She was just like, everybody here fucking sucks. I said, yeah, she goes, everybody's fucking miserable. She goes, it's just like you get off the plane and it's just like, oh my God, my fucking skin. Rah. And I was like, yeah, why do you think I fucking got the hell out of here? She just couldn't fucking believe how nasty everybody was. Everywhere you went, everybody was just fucking miserable and shitty. And I was like, yeah, and it was like, and I made a post a couple of weeks ago. It was like, when I was living in Massachusetts, go fuck yourself, you fucking cocksucker. Then that was the shit. And then when I got over the fucking border, hey neighbor, what's going on? How are you? It's such a vastly different culture up here, and it's crazy to see somebody who lives in the South and experienced Boston for the first time after hearing how bad it is there and being like, nah, it can't be that bad. It can't run. She was like, no, Rob, it can't be that bad. I was like, yeah, it's that fucking bad. Let me tell you, it is. And then she experienced it and she was like, oh my fucking God. And I was like, oh yeah, it's just because everybody's fucking angry all the time because of the fucking conditions that they live in. They don't realize it. They're programmed to be fucking miserable because their government fucking hates them and extorts them for every last fucking penny. And people are always miserable. They don't have enough money to do this. They don't have enough money to do this. And now with the way the fucking the electric situation is down there, they pretty much tripled, your electric bill. People don't have money. People should. For anybody that wants to fucking argue with me with this, please do. But people should have money to go out and do things and enjoy the fruits of their labor. It shouldn't be just this constant fucking stress of get in the car and let's go to the park, kid. Yeah, shit, kid. It shouldn't be this constant fucking, hamster wheel of go to work, pay your bills, sit home, go to work, pay your bills, sit home. That is a miserable fucking existence. If you can barely scrape by to take your kids to the beach one day in the summer as your quote unquote summer vacation, your government and your state Sucks. But nobody's willing to do anything, the real work to do anything about it. Honestly, I believe that it's going to be the only way people learn is through pain. Pain is the greatest motivator and teacher, whether it be physical pain, mental pain, spiritual pain. And until people start feeling real fucking pain, they're not going to want to fucking change. So you know what I say? I say every single fucking conservative sell their fucking houses, move here, move to Montana, move to Florida. I mean, hey, listen, take your conservative values down there. I really think that they're going to get rid of property tax. We're actually, I work to fund my concert addiction. Yeah. I'm going to see Opeth in February, which is going to be a fucking great show. I can't wait. I think it's at the Wang Theater. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to see fucking that. That's going to be great. My best friend got me tickets. I've seen Opeth like, I don't know, fucking 15, 16 times. But and it's great when you're making enough money to be able to, afford things. I'm surrounded by things, and it's only because of, the years leading up to me before doing this, I made a decent living. But I mean, the work that I had to put into it, 70, 80 hour weeks. And I'm not complaining about it. I actually love doing construction. I remember the first time I was on a fucking framing crew. I busted my cherry on a 14,000 square foot fucking mansion in fucking Milton. And I was the ramp. I was the rear echelon motherfucker. And and quickly, within the first month, I was actually framing. And then within the first, after that, like the first 3 months, because I knew how to read plans, my father was an architect. So I had that in my back pocket. I was a layout guy, and I started out at, I think it was like $750 an hour. And by the time we were done with that house, it was like 13, 14 months that we worked on that house. It was fucking huge, and there was a lot to it. And, I was making $20 an hour, and that was 30 years ago. That was a lot of money 30 years ago. And, but I put in the work, man. Framing was fucking great. I loved it. And then I got into doing, finish work, which I really liked because it was more artistic. Doing that. And, but I mean, Massachusetts fucking robbed me, robbed me fucking blind. And, well, I do dabble in being, I used to build my own computers because of the recording studio thing, and I had very specific requirements so I did that also as, my band. So not only was I working 60, 70 hours a week, my band took up most of my free time. But the point is that, when you have a state that says, oh, we're going to put you in jail because you didn't claim those 4 T-shirts you sold while you were on tour. There's a fucking problem. I know you were. There's a fucking problem. That's when government is out of control and it has too much fucking power. They keep you in a constant state of fear. The fear is losing everything that you worked for, and losing your house, losing your freedom, most importantly. And people aren't seeing that. And this should be something that crosses the political spectrum. This should be bipartisan concern. But people don't see it like that. I don't believe that I don't believe that Republicans espouse conservative values. I get shit for that all the time when I say that, but when you have Republicans Republicans voted for, the 86 FOPA, the Firearms Protection Act. It was a Republican president that limited you from having machine guns. It wasn't Democrats. I mean, the 94 crime bill, that was all Democrats. So when you have government overreach as bad as it is today, and people just want to continue to bend the knee because they believe that because they've been programmed to believe that this is the right thing to do, to be a law. How many times do you hear people say, "Oh, I'm a law-abiding, tax-paying citizen"? I laugh at those people when they say that. And that doesn't impress me. That just makes you a fucking lemming. That just makes you a fucking system pig, or a cog for the system pigs. It does not impress me when you say, "I'm a law-abiding, tax-paying citizen. I pay my taxes on time." Yeah, and what do you get for it? The flex that you paid your taxes? Because trust me, it ain't a flex. Now, I didn't want this to be about taxes, but this, or the jab or COVID, but it's to point out that for my entire life, I have not seen this government do anything. In the 40 years that I've been cognizant of politics, I have not seen this government do for the people the way our founding fathers set up our system to do. Is there anybody, hey chat, is there anybody that could say anything that's good that's come out of government in the last 40 years when it comes to doing for the people? I'll wait. Yeah, that's what I thought. We keep electing quote unquote representatives that don't actually represent us. Why? Some people will be like, "Oh, well, I didn't really know." Yeah, you do. If you actually took the time, like seriously, if you actually took the time to research people. "Oh, I don't got time for that." Well, then you got no reason to fucking bitch. When you vote for somebody like Lindsey Graham, you got a Stimaloa check, Reno? What the fuck is a Stimaloa check? Oh man, yeah, you got a stimulus check from the government, so that's the one good thing. Yeah, oh yay. That you eventually have to fucking pay back one way or another, or your kids are going to pay it back. There's no such thing as free money from the government. People know that. But yeah, if you keep voting in people like Lindsey Graham and Dan Crenshaw and their ilk, you're going to continue to get what you have right now. If you refuse to do the work necessary to vet a candidate, vet somebody that you want to send to Congress to represent your values, your morals, your beliefs, then you need to do the work to do it. Stop being fucking lazy. Stop being apathetic. Stop being fucking lethargic. Stop yelling and screaming from your fucking Barca lounger or your fucking whatever you want to call it. I call it a Barca lounger because boomers understand what I'm saying with that, but even though I'm not a boomer. Fucking Reno. Are you coming in here or what, dude? Like I need... Anyway. So yeah, we we had a couple here in New Hampshire slip through, but I wanted to tell you guys what we did leading up to the 2024 elections. So we have a lot of the representatives from the counties they go to, because we're still kind of backwards up here. We have flea markets and ag fairs, quite a few of them, and you can meet most of your representatives. Deerfield Fair is one of them. But you can find out very easily who's running for what, and you can contact most of all of the representatives. For at least the conservatives were very open. Like I would get their number and I would call them and I'd be like, hey, and we'd have conversations. And most of the ones in my county know who I am anyway. So they're like, Rob, what's going on? And I was like, all right, how do you feel about this specific subject? How are you going to vote? I need to know. Well, Rob, my voting. No, I want to hear it from your mouth. Like, we did the work. There was like almost 1,300 of us throughout the state that really put the fucking screws to our representatives, which is the reason why we have the representatives we have now that have done all these things we got rid of estate tax. We got rid of, what's the other one? Capital gains tax. We got rid of the inspection scam, the automobile inspection scam, which is fucking great. And there are so many fucking pissed off auto mechanics right now. They're trying to sue the state. and these conservative guys, these supposed conservative guys that own these auto shops, are citing it violates the Clean Air Act. Shut the fuck up. You really want to go there and use fucking liberal fucking tactics because you're out of scam money, because you're telling people that a fucking $15 fix is a $500 fucking fix? Screw fucking you. Go ahead. See how far that gets you. You're going to lose your business because people are going to be like, are you out of your fucking mind? No, we don't want to get fucking pulled over a fucking sticker anymore. Fuck you. Look at all the fucking states that don't have inspection stickers on their cars. They have not seen a rise in fucking accidents due to safety fucking, because most people, so anyway, we got rid of that. We got rid of, the mask mandate. So it is now illegal in this state to forcibly tell children to put masks on. If this shit ever happen again, schools cannot, by law. Now we're also doing a firearms act. Now, we were one of the first in the nation to get constitutional carry here. So you don't need a permit to carry a gun. You just walk in the gun store. You unfortunately have to do your 4473, which is your federal background check, your NICS check. And when that goes, you take your gun and you go home, and you can buy as many guns as you want. There's no registration here. But now there's a bill that's going to the House and going to the Senate, where we have the New Hampshire it's like the New Hampshire Firearms Freedom Act, where if something is produced here, like let's say, suppressors are produced here in New Hampshire, that they are no more NFA. So you could just walk in and buy a suppressor as an accessory. It tells the NFA to go fuck itself because it's made here. There is no tax there's no sales tax here. So this is going to go to the House. I think Missouri did that, Kansas did that, and I think Texas did that. I might be wrong, but I think that we're following suit, and I think it'll pass. And I think it'll go through. So these we got rid of men and women's sports. All of the things that we've done so far in this state. Was not a fan of Kelly Ayotte. She was just she was not a great representative when she was in Congress. I didn't like her voting record then. I really wanted a guy named Chuck Morse as our governor, but he was very, 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 very MAGA. unfortunately, as killer as the state is, you have to be kind of milquetoast and middle of the road with your conservatism. A straight MAGA guy isn't going to win here, unfortunately. But I think that's changing now. I think Lily Tang Williams has got a really good shot at winning and beating Maggie Goodlander, because she's a fucking scumbag. But yeah, so we have this thing called the Free State Project. There's positives and negatives to that. Obviously, with everything, nothing is ever fucking perfect, but I think we've gained like 300,000 people in the last 6 or 7 years that have moved out of places like Rhode Island, Connecticut, Massachusetts. We've gotten a lot of people from southern Maine. Northern Maine does not even acknowledge that the rest of Maine exists. It's very red up there, very hillbilly. You don't fuck around up there. The same thing with Vermont, like northern Vermont, they don't fuck around either. So what we did was we contacted our representatives and we fucking grilled them. We were going to put it out, and we told them, we held our feet to the fucking fire. These are the things that we want as New Hampshire citizens. This is what we want you to represent when you go to Concord. Lily Tang Williams is her name, not Wu Tang Williams. Lily Tang Williams, Reno. And if you're not going to do that, we're not going to vote for you. Now, obviously, we're not stupid. If you're going to fucking lie to us, we know that you could lie to us. But you look at somebody's voting record and you see what they have done through the history of their political career, and you kind of know where they're going to go. You kind of know what they're going to do anyway. So if you say, "Oh, well, I want you to do this," and they go, "Yeah, we'll do it," but you got to be smart enough to have the information to be like, "Well, but you did this here. What's changed?" And there were quite a few candidates that we said, "No, we're not going to vote for you," and they got voted out. That's the type of fucking shit that I'm talking about. You got to get involved to the point that you're up these motherfuckers' asses and you hold their fucking feet to the fire. If you don't do that, then you're going to get what we have right now. A bunch of captured fucking representatives by every fucking major super PAC on the fucking planet. They're going there to gain power and money. Fucking Reno. And they don't. You tell me a representative right now that actually represents the people, represents their constituents. I think Representative Clyde from Georgia is one. I do believe that, as much as I don't like her, I do believe that Marjorie Taylor Greene thinks that she is doing what's right for her constituents and what her constituents want. I don't know if that's actually valid, but I think she believes it. But you think that Dan Crenshaw is doing? Do you think Tony Gonzalez is doing what Texas 23 wants him to do? He's there. This is why somebody like Brandon Herrera, who would be great for Texas 23, lost by, I don't know, I think it was like 30 or 40 fucking votes the last time. And Tony Gonzalez is so anti-gun that you would think that somebody like Brandon Herrera would fucking steamroll him in the midterms and during the election. Nope, he lost. And it was apathetic voters, people who didn't want to get out there and learn about who is representing them. They just know that they're there. That's their representative. He's got an R next to his name, and you're just going to go in and do tick. And that's it. And that's how you get people like Dan Crenshaw and Tony Gonzalez and Lindsey Graham and all of the people that I consider rhinos. Now, there are a couple of groups out there that are trying to combat this. You know, they start out small. You know, one of these groups I think really wants to do good. And I think they have a real good shot as the Rhino Removal Project. And everything I know about them, they're trying really hard, man. It's hard to start something like that from the ground up and do the things that need to be done, because everything costs money. Everything, every single thing that you in this business. You know how much money it costs me in gas to drive around, you know, to meet all of these representatives. How many thousands of dollars I put into, you know, doing this. I add in the lunches and the fucking gas and, you know, all the things that we did, all the coffees, you know, how much money that I came out of pocket just to make sure, to ensure the representatives from my county, just mine alone, get into office and do and enact the will of the people that put them there in the first place. If it costs me that much money, can you imagine a group like that trying to root out rhinos? And I've seen some criticism of Rhino Removal Project. What have you done? Well, here's what I believe that they're doing. You got to start somewhere. And I believe that forward momentum and getting the word out, you know, groups like this, will bring something at some point to fruition. Now, this isn't a fucking ad for, you know, they didn't pay me to fucking say this. I just know a lot of people that work on the Rhino Removal Project, and they're people that I know and people that I like and people that I respect and people that I don't think that would have thrown their weight or their time or their money behind it if it was fucking bullshit. You know, you could be critical. You can find things to be critical about with any kind of organization. But everything that we did as far as what we did here in New Hampshire in 2024 is what, you know, a group like Rhino Removal Project wants to do on a national scale. You know, you got the Conservative Caucus. Those guys are hitting the ground. You know, Chad Keaton, he's hitting the fucking ground running. You know, he wants to be everywhere and every place to make sure that we don't lose in 2026. And there's a good chance we are going to fucking lose. I mean, listen, I'm at like the 80-20 right now that we're going to fucking lose unless you people get off your fucking asses and do something. There's something to be said for, you know, knocking doors. There's something to be said for setting up and you know, registering people to vote. But you can register all the fucking people to vote you want. If they don't go out to the fucking polls, then you just wasted your fucking time. So all of us, it is our duty and our responsibility. It's our duty and our responsibility if we feel that America is going down the fucking shithole because of our representatives not truly representing us. I'm very clear what I mean by you people. Obviously, it's a racist connotation, Reno. You know that. Big raging, you know, white supremacist over here. Yeah, somebody's going to clip that and be like, see, Peter Rob said he's a No, but seriously. If you don't get out there and do something about it, and you're like, oh, well, I voted for my Republican representative and things haven't gotten any better. Well, you didn't do it right. If we lose in 2026, it is all of your faults that sat on your ass and did nothing. You can't blame us losing in 2026 on anything else other than pulling your ass out of your chair and going and doing something. I don't know what else to tell you. I am very worried that we are going to lose the House in 2026. I don't believe we're going to lose the Senate. I do believe we have a chance here in New Hampshire to really have a fucking majority in the Senate. And if we pick up the 2 in the House that we want to send, New Hampshire might actually fucking kill it for people in 2026 if we get the 4 that we need elected. And I think that's going to happen because the demographics have shifted quite a bit here. But again, I'm not going to rest on my laurels. I'm going to get out there, and I want to get Lily Tang Williams on the show. I want you guys to meet her. And, she escaped, communist China, came here and became an American citizen. And she loves this country. She's the Chinese lady that with the AR-15. That's who I'm talking about. Republicans should be scared. You're right, Reno. Absolutely. We need to put aside all the shit that we're at each other's throats about. We have to. This is bigger than you. This is bigger than your clout. This is bigger than your fucking, your clicks and your likes and your internet presence. This is the very soul of our country. If we lose in 2026, we are going to have a lame duck president, and within 30 days, they are going to impeach him. And it's going to thwart every single fucking thing that the Republicans want to do. Not just Trump. There are some Republicans that do want to do shit for us. And again, if we're fucking mired down with the fact, if we're mired down in the fucking muck of watching Trump go through 2 years of being impeached and we get nothing done, you got nobody to blame but yourselves. I'm not okay with losing in 2026. I don't want to lose. Just because I say that we are going to lose, I hope that fucking scares you enough to fucking do something about it. I mean, I know I am. And then I don't know what the fuck Reno's doing. Dude, I thought you'd be home by now. God damn it. And I was supposed to have a commercial for things that I don't have commercials for. It's not my fault this time. It's not an audio issue with me. But listen, you guys got to start investigating some of these groups that are out there and put your back in there. Find out what you can do. I mean, listen, Brandon Strzok, he does the work. Scott Pressler does the work. I don't care that the 2 of them are beefing. I don't care that the 2 of them are having their little fucking, fairy fight. I don't care. What I care about is the fact that they're both out there, irrespective of whether they're at each other's throats or not. I care about the fact that they both want to do the best they can for this country. And they've both of them have put their asses on the line to do it. Chad's out there, Jim Pfaff with the Conservative Caucus. I just saw Auntie Kami reposted the stream. Thank you, Auntie Kami. She works with the Rhino Removal Project. All of these people are available to you to talk to about what you can do in your own communities, because you can't. I'm going to make the analogy from 2016-ish, 17. We had this debate with Patty about the origins of the Proud Boys, and it really was just a fucking joke. And it was just, it was Gavin and our way of giving the finger to feminism. Really, truly. Like, men need to be fucking men again. We're done with your fucking feminist bullshit. We are going to congregate once a month. We're going to talk about man shit. We're going to do man shit. If you don't like it, go fuck yourself. And the left lost their motherfucking mind. That's it in a nutshell. There's way more to it, but the 50,000 fucking foot view and the TLDR it was just a big middle finger to feminists and leftists. It's really what it was. I don't care what the fucking structure is. I care about giving the fucking finger to fucking women and feminist women. And then the Proud Boys would show up to, pro-life rallies, and Antifa was there, and they would attack these women, like physically go after them. And yeah, no, no, I don't want to be kind. Fuck that. Antifa would go after these women and these people that were at, pro-life marches or freedom rallies or whatever. And, you're all fucking Nazis. That's a Nazi flag you're flying. And it was the American flag. And, the thing is when you have men that really truly believe that they're real men, they're not going to let you fucking hit a woman. They're not going to let you fucking hit them. So we did something that nobody has done. We punched back. We absolutely 100% fucking said, no, we're not going to let you hit us. We're not going to let you attack women. We're not going to let you attack children. We're not going to let you. So for the longest time, everybody was, yeah, Reno's a Nazi. Reno's totally a Nazi. For the longest time, we went out there and we were put in a position that we never asked for, nor did we want that position, but we were compelled to do it because that's what men do. And we became protectors and guardians, and most people, but then it got to the point where people didn't want to do anything themselves. Oh, the Proud Boys are going to show up. They'll take care of it. What? Why is it our responsibility? Why are we tasked with this? Well, as a man, you're saying, let the Proud Boys do it. So what you're saying really is that you're not man enough to do it. I would have another real man do it in my stead. That's what I hear when you say that. Oh, where are the fucking Proud Boys? We need to get the Proud Boys out there. How about you get the fuck out there? Bitch ass motherfucking beta. You get the fuck out there. Why are you putting that responsibility off on other people? The Proud Boys will show up when we want to show up. We're not your fucking monkeys. We are not your guardian protectors. If you show, that's the reason why you don't see us out there now. Obviously J6 had a lot to do with it, but that's the analogy of this, is that if you think that it's Scott Pressler's responsibility or Chad Keaton's or Jim Pfaff's or Anti-Commies or, Steve Loves Ammo, they're all part of, those two are part of Rhino Removal Project. If you think it's their responsibility and not yours, and you can push your part of that off on somebody else to do it for you, then you don't deserve it. Then you don't deserve to live in the country that you want to live in. You have not fucking earned it. If you can't do something as simple, and this is simple. Well, I don't have time. Shut the fuck up. If you can't do something as simple as find out who's running for what from your school district, all the way up to your governor in your state and everybody else in between. from your local representatives, your state representatives, your congressional representatives, if you can't take the time to investigate who they are, make a list of who they are. If they've been in politics, look at their voting record. It's simple. Look at their voting record. See if their voting record aligns with your values. And if not, you call them and be like, okay, what is this? Okay, you don't have my vote anymore. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of this information and I'm going to talk to everybody in my area, in my neighborhood. And then I'm going to tell them to go out to every other neighborhood in the county. And that's how it works. The only way that this happens is if you get involved and stop thinking that it's other people's responsibility to take care of you. This is why I do the things that I do. This is why I believe in the things that I believe in. It's not anybody else's responsibility to take care of me. It's not anybody else's responsibility, not the cops, not the big daddy government. You've all been fucking brainwashed into believing that you need the police. You don't. You've all been brainwashed into believing that you need more laws. You don't. You've all been brainwashed that the people that are in government and state, and local and federal government, they know what's best. No, they fucking don't. I know what's best for my road. I know what's best for my neighbors. I know what's best for my family. I don't believe it's anybody else's responsibility that if a bunch of fucking Antifos started rolling through my town and doing shit, I'm not calling the cops. I have never, not once in all the time I've been on this planet, ever called the cops for any fucking reason. I have always handled shit myself. Now, the cops have come and said, "Whoa, Rob, what are you doing?" Well, I took care of it. This is what American men should do. And people, always misconstrue what I'm saying when I say that I think that I'm a fucking badass or a tough guy or whatever. Listen, I've probably won more fights than I've lost, but I've lost quite a few. I've had my fucking head tuned, kicked in a couple of times. I've been tuned up a couple of times in my life. I'm not the baddest motherfucker that walks this planet. I'm a bad motherfucker, but I'm not the baddest. But I do believe that I have to stand up for fucking my morals. I have to stand up for my community. I have to stand up for my values and the values of the people that I have around me. And if it means keeping my neighbors safe and it means keeping my community safe, then I'm going to go out and do it. And maybe, there's been a couple of times where I've had to do that. And, other men from my community saw that and got incentivized by that and fucking stood with me. They're like, "Rob, I would have never done this had you not done this." And now I feel, comfortable. And the one example was we went after our school board about the fucking masks. They were like, "Rob, you got to go, dude." And I'm like, "No, why can't you motherfuckers do it? Why can't?" Well, because we can't talk like you. They didn't have the confidence, or the bass in their voice, or whatever it was. And it's not a pretty sight. I can tell you that. I don't fight to win, though. That's the thing that makes me. That's the thing that makes me dangerous when I fight, and probably the reason why I don't make it a habit of fighting is because I don't fight to win. I don't care if I lose a fight. I don't give a shit. I never have. I only go into the fight to fucking hurt you. That's it. And I usually accomplish that. I'll lose, but you can guarantee you're going to be in the fucking bed next to me in the fucking emergency room. But anyway, and they were like, "Rob, you got to go, dude. This shit's fucking ridiculous. You're the only voice that we know. You say the things that we all wish that we can say, and you don't care, and you're unfiltered, and blah, 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 and all the bullshit," right? And I was like, "Guys, why don't you fucking do that? I'll tell you what. Why don't you guys go do it, and I'll be there to back you up. I'm going to be there anyway, but we'll sit together and, you know, and they didn't know that they had it in them until I fucking went for the jugular on the superintendent's jugular. And it was the most ridiculous thing I had ever fucking heard. You guys have heard me regale this story before, and I'll just quickly tell you it again. My son came home and was like, Dad, this mask thing is ridiculous. I was like, what do you mean? When you guys are wearing masks? Well, no, when we're sitting at our desk, we're not wearing masks. But if I get up to go sharpen my pencil, I have to wear a mask walking 3 feet across the fucking room. He didn't say fucking. 3 feet across the room. And then once I get back to my seat, I could take my mask off. I said, are you fucking kidding me? And I fucking nuked. I said, you know what? I'm not putting up. Yep, I'm not putting up with that shit. So they called me and they're like, Rob, did your son come home? And I almost talked to my son. Did your son come home and tell you what they're doing? Yeah, I said, yeah, dude. I said, what the fuck are we gonna do about it? Dude, are you going to the school board meeting? And I was like, yeah. All right, are you gonna fucking say something? And I was like, yeah. So that's when we got into the whole. Why don't you fucking say something? And that's the point. There are guys like me out there. Yeah, you know what? Maybe we are the guys that will say the things that need to be said that most other people are afraid to fucking say. Like, I have no filter. I don't care about your fucking feelings. I don't give a shit about offending people. I think if you are offended by anything that I say, you are a fucking pussy. You have no fucking strength of fucking heart. You have no strength of mind. If you get offended by anything, you're a pussy. You're a piece of shit. You're a weakling. You're a fucking beta. You're every goddamn fucking word that I could find. You are of low moral character if you get offended by anything. Fuck you, you fucking whores, you fucking betas, you fucking pieces of shit. If you get offended by anything that anybody says, you are a fucking weakling. So, and they know that. They absolutely know that. So they were like, hey, Rob, you got to go tell it like it is. And I did. And everybody was fucking slack-jawed. They could not fucking believe I said the things that I said in that school board meeting because they had never heard anybody fucking speak like that before. So, and now these guys, some of them still have kids in that school. Though their sons went onto the high school that my son's in now, and they still have a couple of younger ones because they themselves are a little bit younger than I am, and those guys are all over it now. And I made it so that these guys felt fucking empowered enough to be able to say the things. And that's what we need to do. We need to start empowering each one of us to go out there and have our voices heard by our representatives. And they need to understand. They 100% need to understand. Oh, listen, I was very calm, just like the voice you hear here. I love how, I know you're not saying this, but I love how people are like, oh, Rob's fucking angry. And this is not anger. Like, if you saw me angry, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's fucking anger. Being passionate, being a Taurus, being a fucking guinea, my voice fluctuates and I accentuate shit. And what people mistake as anger because I'm getting hyped up is not anger. I've only been angry once on this show, and that was right after fucking Charlie Kirk got shot. That was, you want to see Rob angry, go back and watch the War Boys episode. That's Rob truly fucking angry. I don't ever get like that. Yeah, she definitely had to change her tampon. That's for sure. So yeah, I incentivize these guys to go out there and do something about it. And if you're not going to fucking do something about it, then you have no reason to bitch. Yeah, I'm way more dangerous. Like, when I get really, truly fucking angry, I get quiet. And I'm just plotting what part of your body I want to break. That's it. Hey, look, everybody. I've tried to entertain you guys. My boy, Reno. What's up, brother?
What's going on?
Say hi to the people.
Hello, people. Hello. It's your friendly Reno here. How you doing? What's going on, guys? Hold on, Rob's taking a.
I'm drinking my coffee.
Why's your dick out? What the fuck?
Because I'm wearing my kilt.
Oh yeah. All right.
I told you I would. I'm wearing my kilt.
What's going on, guys? How are you guys?
So what do you got? What are you doing tomorrow?
I'm working, and then I'm going to my mom and daddy's house.
You guys are open on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, brother, we're open 365 days a year, so it's all good.
You guys work on Christmas?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that noise.
Get paid for it, bro. But yeah, and then I'm going to mom and dad's house. Well, I'm going to mom and dad's house for what's it? Thanksgiving. Yep. That's what I'm doing. I don't have anything else to do. So.
All right, what do you got to say about what I just said?
About you motherfuckers are a bunch of beta cucks, and you need to be real fucking men. And yeah, that's all that shit. All of it. All that shit's correct. And that's it. That's all I have to say. I'm glad that was me summing up your whole hour that you did. No, like, yeah, you're right, man. If I want to go back to what you were saying about the fucking the rhinos and all that shit, dude. Yeah, and like I I was texting you. Yeah, the Republicans better be fucking scared for the midterms. They absolutely better be, because the American people have woke up to their bullshit too. To be honest with you, um, look, I'm never claimed to be MAGA. I've never wore a MAGA hat, um, and I'm very critical, and I'm very critical of the damn the rhinos that are in the government, because the Republicans are supposed to be the party of the people, and that MAGA thing I see is slowly shrinking, and so a lot of people are waking up to America first and America only. And if you can't get a true, real America first uh, person in the government, or group of people, America first in the government, then we're fucked. You're just gonna get the same fucking rhinos that are gonna sit there forever and not do nothing, and yep, and it'll be the same old status fucking quo.
Dude, listen, man, all I know is I am worried about the midterms. Listen, I'm not going to say that people have heard me say a lot that I'm a burn it all kind of down kind of guy. There is a big part of me that says, I want to burn it down. I don't see in my mind. I track where we were 40 years ago, and I see where we are now. We are no better off than we were. We are way worse than we were 40 years ago. I don't truly, in my mind, see a way out of this unless everything does get burnt down and we all start feeling some fucking serious, real pain. Like, prices are expensive. Okay, we're feeling a little bit of pain there, and we don't know what real pain is. I think New York City's about to feel real pain. They fucked around. They're going to find out.
Yep.
And all of these people that voted for him and the shit that he's going to pull there, it's just like I was talking about earlier. I don't know if you caught it or not. That dude whistling Diesel. What Tennessee just did to him is mind blowing to me. That's fucking real pain there. Having 20 guys show up at your house because you didn't pay taxes on a fucking car, because you registered a car in another state, and they were like, we want our money. We're sending 20 fucking cops with fucking ARs to arrest you for tax evasion, for not paying sales tax on a car that doesn't even exist in the fucking state in the first place.
I mean, you want to talk about, I hear the words Gestapo all the time, but I mean, that's a real Gestapo-like tactic. I mean, that's
from Tennessee. This was the state of Tennessee.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we thought that
taxes, and now we're going to send the fucking Gestapo after you.
Isn't Tennessee a red state?
Yeah, I think so.
Don't they have a fucking supposed Republican governor, Republican lieutenant governor, and a Republican fucking AG?
I don't know.
And they signed off on this?
I'm sure. I don't know. I don't know a lot about Tennessee. You're the only Tennessee in here. So. But, yep.
Tennessee governor.
Yeah, dude. It's
the current governor of Tennessee is Bill Lee.
All right, so his name is Bill Lee, and he's a Republican. He was the president and CEO of the Lee Company, which I have no idea what. And it looks like he's talked shit about Zohan Mondami and said Tennessee is open for business. Not after what they just fucking pulled, because I can guarantee you, with somebody who's got almost 15 million followers on fucking YouTube, shit talking the fucking government of fucking Tennessee, there's going to be people leaving out of there in fucking droves, and people from New York are going to look at that and be like, you just sent 20 motherfucking SWAT guys to a motherfucking YouTuber's house because he didn't pay sales tax on a vehicle that didn't even exist in the fucking state, and on top of that,
yeah,
Whistling Diesel,
I know
Whistling Diesel, dude, So he registered a car he did for a stunt, right? For a stunt.
Yep.
It's not like he was driving it. He did it for a stunt, registered it under a business in Montana, because we can own businesses in other states than ones we reside in, and he totaled the car and set it on fire in Texas. And they sent fucking 20 cops to his fucking house.
Yeah, not only did they send state police, they sent local police. So
local police and SWAT, yeah.
They had two different agencies, a local and a state there, both with warrants. That's crazy.
Yep. And they put his ass in fucking jail.
Yep. I saw that. I saw that the other day. That's
$28,000 is what they were charging him for taxes on that fucking Ferrari. $28,000 for a used fucking Ferrari that he doesn't even own because he set it on fucking fire for a stunt for his fucking show.
That's crazy. That's crazy. In Florida, we set cars on fire for fun.
That's like they sent how many? 17 to Roger Stone's fucking house?
Yeah. Yep.
FBI, SWAT, fucking. The guy can barely pick up his own dick, let alone a fucking gun. He's not a fucking threat.
He can dance really good though.
No, I'm not dogging on Roger. I'm not. Roger's fucking awesome. I love Roger. I'm not dogging him, but the fact is that anybody looks at that dude as a fucking physical threat to anybody.
No, that's
like. Listen, dude, I don't need. And what it was CNN knew like a couple hours before when they arrested Enrique. Like I look at Enrique and I'm like, that dude's not a fucking threat. Like, he's in his underwear. I'm like, did you guys really need like fucking 30 fucking FBI agents to fucking kick in his fucking door? I mean, shit, that was probably one of the most embarrassing fucking arrests I've ever seen. That motherfucker had a pot belly on him, boy. I was like, dude.
The thing about it is, American, is that you don't have any arrests for J6 because there's not going to be any arrests for J6.
Yeah.
You're not going to get any arrests for J6. You're not going to get any arrests for the Epstein files. You're not going to get any arrests for anything. Look what they just did to Letitia James and them.
Yeah. I mean, again, it was all theater. We talked about it on Monday.
You're not going to get arrested, dude. This government is full of actors and has been for the past fucking 20, 30 years. It's all fucking acting. You are acting like you love the American people, and you don't. You love money, and you love yourself. That's who they love. They're self-serving. Every member of Congress. I don't give a fuck what side they're on. I don't give a fuck who they are. Every member of Congress, every member of the Senate, every department appointee. And listen, the dude that sits in the White House, all the press secretaries, everybody, every single fucking person that works in Washington, D.C. doesn't give a fuck about one fucking citizen. They don't. They give a fuck about themselves.
Yep. And that's why I'm trying to impress upon anybody who's watching the show is that if you really want to affect change, you only have two options. Actually, you got three. You could either let things go the way they are and just be like, throw up your hands and be like, well, at least I'm breathing and I can eat. Okay. And that's surviving. That's not actually living, by the way. You can get involved and do something about it. If it really pisses you off that much and you hate the way things are going, it is on all of us to change it.
Yeah, but you're not going to.
Or
Sorry, go ahead.
we have a civil war.
I mean, all right. I
I mean, listen. At this point,
2% tax. So I mean, what do you want?
we killed motherfuckers over trees, dude.
Yeah,
we got a little fucking pine tree riots. But I mean, so, and I'm not saying let's have a civil war, because a civil war is not going to look the way it looked. You know, a revolutionary war. I'm not going to say civil war. A revolutionary war, because that's what it would truly be. Is to correct things. It would. We would want it to be a revolutionary war. It would turn into a civil war, but it's not going to look like what it was back then. There's no way that there's people that have war gamed this out for years and years and years and years, and we the American citizens will always be the bearer of the bad when it comes to that. We would be the bearer of the misery. But, I mean, listen, those are our choices. There's no other choices. Either we have a civil war and just say, fuck it, burn this motherfucker down, redraw the lines, and New Hampshire takes over fucking Maine and Vermont, and we have some kind of Northeast alliance here, and we kick Massachusetts out of the fucking country, and sell it off to fucking, I don't know, Russia or Ukraine. We get rid of fucking Mass. We get rid of all the fucking, and we carve up our country, which would lead us not to be the United States anymore. We secede from the government through war and through violence. And nobody really wants to see that, but that's a choice. Or you can get off your ass, get involved, and fucking do something.
Yeah,
like, really actually do something.
You as a private citizen are not going to affect fucking change in Washington, D.C. But I know where you can. You can affect change in your fucking house or in your fucking hometown or within your state. And if we all did that as a state, as a collective, you can affect change in Washington, D.C. But you're not going to fucking voting for a president or voting for a senator or whatever is not going to change shit. You're going to get the same self-serving assholes that sit in a fucking chair and collect a check, and they're not going to serve you. But your mayor, your city councils, your school boards, your governor, and your state House of Representatives, and your state Senate, that's where you're going to affect change, and that can change Washington.
As much as I appreciate all of my, all of the patriots that are going to the ICE facilities, and doing the things that they're doing out there, at least they're not doing anything. Okay. Like, they're not changing what's going on at these ICE facilities. But what they're doing, to me, I think, is even more important than any kind of physical thing that they're doing. They are energizing and incentivizing American citizens to go out and act.
Yeah. I mean,
that's what I think, and more so than anything else. Like them, Serena punching that fucking douche in the fucking face.
Knocking those two dudes out. I mean,
and that it didn't. Antifa's still there. Okay, yeah. It didn't stop them from coming, but what it did was people are starting to say, you know what? It's time to push back. Look, we got this tiny little fucking hot blonde out there fucking stomping a mud hole in a fucking bitch's ass. If she can do it, so can I. You got Tommy out there, who I like Tommy, and Tommy's this just. I look at Tommy like this big, goofy, lovable, nutball. But he's out there. He doesn't look like a fucking Tommy does not look like a tough guy, but he is. He's got heart, and I have respect for that. He doesn't look the part, but he's got heart. and he's incentivizing people to go out there and fucking do something. And that's what it takes. Getting out there and doing, for me, being a part of the things that I've been a part of for all of these years is getting out there and showing people around me that know me, look, man, I'm out there trying to affect change, and the change that I truly want to affect. Because I know when I was out there punching Antifa in the face, I know what was like nothing we did December 12th, 2020 was going to change the outcome of the election. I knew that. Most people actually, there were a lot of people down there that thought, there's fucking 700,000 of us down here, and we're going to affect change, and, Biden's not going to win. And those people, I got to give him fucking, I try not to give him too hard of a time, but I tell him, like, listen, this is set in stone. Nothing's going to change this. But what we're going to do is we're going to get people off their asses, be like, all right, look at all those motherfuckers out there. I know I can do something. Where do I start? And where you start is what I said at the beginning and what Reno just said. You start local. You start at home. And then you work your way up. You start with your local representatives, because your local representatives are going to enact your will, go to your House and your Senate, and your governor will sign these bills in. And then people around the country will start to see, well, hey, look at what New Hampshire just did. Look at what Florida's doing with property taxes. They're working on it. We're working on it here too. Other states are going to see that New Hampshire's going to have our suppressor freedom bill or our firearms freedom bill or whatever. That's going to go. And if it passes, which I think it will pass the House and the Senate, our governor will sign that in. And then now we're in state number 4, number 5 that actually has that says, to the NFA and the federal government and the ATF, go fuck yourself. And that's how you do it. You have to start local, because local, when people start seeing, I'm sure there's people out here watching the show that are investigating all the things that I'm telling you about what we just did in New Hampshire over the last year. And it's fucking mind-boggling the amount of pro-conservative fucking bills that have gotten through and have been signed into law in this state, giving people their fucking freedoms back. It's unheard of in any other fucking state in this country right now. So, and we did that because we put in the work leading up to 2024, and we're not going to stop. Now we need to get rid of Maggie Goodlander, Chris Pappas, Shaheen's not running, thankfully. And the other one is Maggie Hassan, Hassan and Goodlander, 2 of the biggest fucking scumbags. How we fucking have an overwhelming majority in our House and our Senate and a Republican governor, and we voted for those fucking scumbags. I'm still confused about that. I know there's some fucky bullshit going on, but we're going to take care of that in 2026. Yep. But that's the thing.
You got to get Wu-Tang Williams in, man, because
Lily Tang Williams is fucking amazing. Everybody, please, who's watching the show, there's 2,000 people watching the show. My show even beats the War Boys, which is fucking awesome. I love when I see those numbers. And now Enrique's going to take that as a personal challenge, just to let you know. Which is fine, which is good. It's all in good fun. But, everybody that's watching right now, go look up Lily Tang Williams and look at her history and what she's done and what she wants to do. This woman would be a perfect person to send to our federal government. She knows what it is to come from a true communist society and what it took to fucking escape that and come here. And she did everything that she needed to do because she wanted to be an American fucking citizen. She learned our language. She knows our Constitution inside and out. She loves this country. She loves everything. She loves American exceptionalism, and she did it. Somebody like that should be representing the people of New Hampshire. Somebody like that who loves this country. And I guess that's the thing, is somebody like her who experienced the hell that it was to grow up in the CCP. Yeah, exactly, Miss American.
And you can call her what you want to. I'm calling her Wu-Tang Williams because
you can call her Wu-Tang Williams.
She's for the children.
She's based as shit.
Yeah.
But she is. She is fucking based as shit. Somebody who's actually experienced what communism did to her family and what it took to come here is somebody who appreciates America for what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she will do everything in her power to espouse those values of American exceptionalism. people who have been born here and raised here take what America is for granted.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
people like
look
that
at
fucking piss me off.
look at Miami. Look how it is, man. You've got all those people that fled Cuba, and where were they? They knew what communism was like. They knew what an oppressive regime was like, and so they were conservative. But over the years, they've slowly gotten away from that because
See, I'm
their
wearing my
fucking
coat.
oh nice dude. Their children
I told you
were
motherfuckers I'd do it.
right. Their children were born here, and their grandchildren were born here, and so they don't know, their children and their grandchildren don't know what it's like to live under a regime like that, but they do. But
Yep.
we're slowly losing that generation and those people because they're getting old. You know what I'm saying? So
Listen,
yeah,
it's easy for me to say. For me, I'm just talking about my
yeah,
lived experience. Is my music shaped everything about my politics. The music I listened to growing up shaped every single political view that I have today. A lot of those thrash metal bands were very anti-fucking abortion, Slayer and Death being two of them. I could go on a fucking tangent about that, and I won't. But you guys got to know that everything that I talk to you about right now, when it comes to my view on being fucking pro-American and espousing those values, comes from the music I listened to growing up. It wasn't all fucking kill your mother, kill your father. That's the bullshit. It shaped me to who I am today. Every time I think about something that I believe in as far as what, conservative values are, I always go back to the music that shaped who I was. And I wouldn't be here today talking about the things that I talk about if it wasn't for the music. I mean, Nuclear Assault has that song I was telling you guys about it, and it was called Brainwash. Go read the lyrics for that song. That was a 13-year-old Rob listening to that. That was like mind-blowing to me. Like, I always looked at the TV from a very early age as a conduit to fucking brainwash people. So it's everything
yeah.
was shaped from the culture of that. And my love of Western civilization, my love of this fucking country is directly related to that, first of all. And I don't take what I have for granted. I never have. And I'm not going to take what this amazing, wonderful, beautiful fucking experiment that so many of our forefathers fought and died for and not appreciate it and take it for granted. But we have for too long.
Yeah,
And we're not.
man. I wasn't. I was shaped by punk rock music. So, I was completely the opposite. I was completely against, I was a little fucking Antifa kid, dude. But you know what? Joining the military shaped, my outlook. I started to appreciate, what we have. And, the more you learn, the more you change. So I'm a complete
And
180 from
it's funny that some of the bands that I toured with
or maybe I'm not.
and the bands that I was in, I was in a satanic death metal band. Now it is what it is. It was just the imagery and the shock of it. But all those guys were fucking Republican. They all voted fucking for Bush. They all voted for, most of them were actually, some of them were even older than me, and they voted for Ross Perot too. It's like, what people don't seem to understand, and it's not just, holy Christians that vote Republican. Conservative values are conservative values. Constitutional values transcend the parties, transcend Republicans and Democrats. It transcends anything else that you believe in. Having a belief in the Constitution transcends everything else. If you love this fucking country and you believe in the Constitution, you're not a Republican and you're not a Democrat. Though those two parties have been co-opted by the uniparty and sycophants that only give a shit about themselves. It is on us to do the legwork. It's on us to throw our weight behind whatever we can and whoever we can. That is, listen, go out. irrespective of how you feel about Scott, download his app. It'll tell you exactly what you need to do, and then, go to your local diner and start talking to people. I know people don't want to talk to one another face to face anymore. It's always just fucking texting. That's all anybody wants to fucking do is text. They don't want to get out there and call and hear people's voices. People are too fucking afraid and into themselves that they don't want to get out there and talk to people face to face. That's another fucking problem that social media and these motherfucking phones have done over the last 20 fucking years, is that we are, for as connected as we are so incredibly disconnected from the human experience. I fucking hate texting. I hate everything having to fucking do with it. I hate that I have to fucking do it. I get fucking paragraphs and paragraphs, and my response is, yeah, okay, cool. And that pisses people, and that pisses fucking, it really pisses women off. Women just cannot fucking stand fucking 1 or 2 or 3 word fucking answers. They're like, and they're fucking, they get sand in their vagina over it. It's true. And most of the guys I know are like, whatever, dude. It's like, yeah, Reno and I fucking speak like 3 words to one another, and we talk on the fucking phone.
Bro, I hate texting so much that I will write you a paragraph, but it's always like one line. So I'll write the sentence, and then I'll fucking send it. And then I'll fucking write another sentence.
But
send it. So it looks like when we're having a conversation, it's like, a response, and then like me responding to you is like this fucking long because I've sent like 15 fucking texts.
Dude, I hate texting. I hate texting so. You know what? I even hate talking on the phone, and I'll tell you why. I just hate talking on the phone. But most people that I like, family members and people I talk to, like my best friend Carolyn and my daughter's mother and my son's mother, whatever, we don't talk on the phone. We talk face to face. We like FaceTime one another. Not FaceTime, it's Facebook Messenger. But we do it so we see each other's faces. Like, I've been doing that for like 10 years now.
Yeah, I'm a
10 years.
Guy, dude.
I want to see the person that I'm talking to. We have, because we got to a certain point where, again, that human interaction, was completely gone, and everybody's now like faceless, like letters behind the fucking screen.
I want to see
right.
When I'm talking to somebody, I want to see the expression. That's how I read people.
Exactly.
How I communicate with people. I want to see facial expression.
And
I want to see
it always gets lost in the fucking mix. When you're texting somebody, and context is fucking everything. First of all, and knowing what somebody, it's hard to say that somebody for like 3 or 4 months, and then they text you something that, if they were to say it with their voice and the inflection, it comes across completely fucking different. It really does. So it's either, all right, take what I just said, and it was me having an issue with somebody close to me that was completely misunderstanding what I was texting. And I said, all right, why don't you do this? You've heard my voice. You heard the way I speak. Say that line back in the way my voice would say it if I was talking to you. And then it was like, oh. Like the light bulb went on, dude. It was like, But anyway, so for as connected as we are, because we're connected. I'm in New Hampshire. Reno's in Florida. We have, people from the Netherlands in here, and we have people from all across the country. So we're connected that way. But as far as the actual human experience, the reason why, other than being apathetic, the reason why we're losing is because people are afraid to go out and talk to people, just drum up conversations. This used to be like ubiquitous, with human beings. Like, this is what we did. We went out. Like, when I was growing up, I'd get on my bicycle and I'd ride down to the local fucking bowling alley that had an arcade in it, and we stood next to one another, fucking elbow to elbow, touching people. Yes, we actually touched one another while we were out in public, while we're playing fucking Pac-Man and Asteroids and all the other fucking games. We did that shit. We were in we were in parks together, running around, fucking playing tag and dodgeball. We had the human experience. This was designed to take that away. That's exactly what it is. And unless you fight back against it, embrace tradition.
Yep. Yep.
You know,
Well,
and that's
he also had a loop in his stick that he would run behind. And
we had a fucking 2 cans and a string, motherfucker. That was our cell phones.
He would hit the loop with the stick and make it go, and he'd chase it down the.
We played kick the can. We actually really did play fucking stickball in the middle of the streets and fucking in the Bronx, dude.
He had knickers with a white shirt and like one of those fucking things.
Dude, I went to Catholic, bro. I went to Catholic school.
Yeah,
I went to Catholic
with
school.
the cowlick and shit. Yeah, and he'd be like, Governor.
I wore a shirt and tie and a fucking pocket protector when I was going to fucking
Governor,
school,
some coin, Governor.
Well, listen, guys, I'm going to keep preaching this all the way up until the election. If we get tired of hearing it, I'm sorry. But I do, those groups that I talked to you about, I want to see good things come from Rhino Removal Project. I want to see good things come from the Conservative Caucus. I want to see good things come from Brandon and Scott. And if you guys look, there's plenty of other organizations out there. Get involved. Like I said, there's plenty of people that you know, like, I'm sure that if you say to Chad Keaton or Jim Pfaff, listen, I need to know what I can do in my community. I don't know. Chad has always taken the time to educate people. And he has no problem. If you're really serious and you want to get out there and you want to help the conservative movement, that's a place to go. Go into anti-commie and Steve Lowe's ammo spaces when they do the Rhino Removal Project spaces. Request a mic, come up, ask them questions, write down the answers. They know what they're talking about when it comes to what needs to get done. If you want to be able to do something, you have to do it in your community first. And the people that are out there doing it, it's not their responsibility to do it for you, but it is their responsibility to teach you what to do. You take that knowledge and go and fucking do something with it. And if you don't, and we lose, I don't want to hear anybody bitch.
Hey, not only that, but listen, Mr. Conservative, I don't give a fuck about conservative. I want somebody, I want to put my support behind somebody who gives a fuck about America. I don't give a fuck if they're conservative or not. If they give a fuck about America, then I'm going to put my support behind them. I don't care if they've got a D, an R, an I, a fucking LMNOP. I don't give a fuck what they have behind their fucking their name. I don't care. I want somebody that's going to give a fuck about a document that was written 250 fucking years ago that is the law of the fucking land. And if they abide by that, then I'm good.
I don't disagree with that at all. And with that, we are doing the
War stream.
The war stream tonight. My brother-in-law just showed up. I can hear them upstairs with his kids, and I'm going to go visit with family for now. And then, so yeah, look out for the war stream tonight, guys. I guess we're going to be playing Warzone.
Yeah.
I fucking suck at that game, dude. Yeah, I fucking hate it. It's just about watching Patriot Rob get his fucking ass handed to him in the fucking game.
Dude, it's just a download. Listen, guys, if you fucking, and this is why, and you know, Rob, me and you have talked about this, and I've talked to it until I'm blue in the face. I fucking hate politics. I hate it. I refuse. I usually 98% of the times refuse to talk about it. But if you constantly revolve yourself around fucking politics and X and what's going on and what did this fucking politician do and what did this politician do and what did the president say, it will eat you alive and you will have no fucking life. So things like playing video games, you can say what you want to, but it's an enjoyment. It's an enjoyment whether you suck at it or not. You can laugh. You can
Hanging with your
fucking
boys,
have
yeah,
it. Yeah,
hanging
absolutely.
with your boys and watching stupid shit happen on
Yeah,
the fucking video
absolutely.
game is fucking hilarious.
Why I'm gonna do my show. It's not gonna have any fucking politics, none whatsoever. We're gonna watch stupid cat videos because people today forgot how to fucking laugh
Yep.
and enjoy fucking life. We are in a shit show of a fucking time. We're a shit show of a fucking country. Everybody hates each other. You know, when I hate people too, I hate just fucking humanity. But if nobody laughs anymore, you don't fucking laugh. So no, you know, if you don't fucking laugh, then what do you got? You don't have shit. You got worried about the fucking politics, and it's fucking fake and it's gay.
Well, wise words from Reno. You want to say anything else to the people before we go?
No, call your fucking family this weekend or eat with them and tell them you fucking love them.
All right. Well, my message to everybody is
Pray for
have
those
a
two fucking National Guard soldiers that got fucking shot today.
Yeah, I heard about that, dude.
Oh yeah, she fucking hates that bag.
I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. I hope that you do have an enjoyable, wonderful time with your families tomorrow. I hope you eat fucking awesome food. I hope you think about and do what you can for the people that are hurting right now. We got plenty of veterans out there that aren't going to eat tomorrow. If there's anything that you can do to help out, please do. And, you know, I hope you have a great time with your loved ones. Enjoy the fucking food coma. And we will see you guys on Friday. And I'm trying to work on getting a guest for Friday. And I don't know if that's going to come to fruition yet. But with that, call your loved ones. Tell them you love them. You never know when you're not going to be able to. And we'll see you guys at some point tonight if you are interested in just shutting your mind off and watching a bunch of fucking idiots fucking laugh and play stupid fucking kids games. That's what we're doing tonight. Have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
I can't make the hand symbol anymore. I gotta have a new hand symbol, bro.
And you know what? I want to thank you all for watching. I truly appreciate it. Reno, I'll talk to you soon, brother.
Yes, sir.